Time for the highlights of the opening round of the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship sanctioned by AMA Pro Racing. It's the Hangtown Classic outside of Sacramento, California. Jason Wygant giving it the call. 250 Moto 1. Justin Barsha on the Geico Honda grabs the whole shot. He's got the Red Bull KTM of Ken Roczen on the number 70 right behind him. Much anticipated battle between those two, and it did not disappoint. A great duel for the lead. Roczen would take over the number 1 spot, and soon they would have company up front. Eli Tomac on the number 17, another Geico Honda, and the monster Pro Circuit Kawasaki of Blake Baggett, number 12, battling as well. Late in the race, Baggett gets around Tomac, then the last lap goes after Barsha, takes over second, and then with about 3 corners to go, gets by Roczen for the lead. An incredible comeback from Baggett to steal the moto win on the last lap. Moto number 2. Another hole shot for the number 20 of Barsha. He pulls him all the time, and once again he has Roczen with him. His teammate Tomac, though, is down in the first turn, as well as Jesse Nelson and a bunch of other riders. Roczen started this moto second, but fell in the first lap, allowing Baggett to take over second, and he would start putting the pressure on Barsha. Based on the performance he put in Moto 1, you knew he'd be strong in Moto 2. He makes the move on the number 20, takes the lead, and goes on to the Moto win. Roczen would rally from that early crash to take third, but there was nothing that he or anyone else could do about Baggett's charge. He goes 1-1 on the day. Ivan Tedesco, welcome back to the 250 class with 4th. Tomac salvages a 5th. James Stewart returning to action for full time for the first time in this tour since 2008. And he wasted little time putting his brand new Yoshimura Suzuki up front. Here he is battling the Chaparral Honda of Andrew Short for the lead in Moto 1. They swapped a couple times on the first lap with Davey Millsaps in the hunt as well on the Joe Gibbs Toyota Yamaha. There's Stewart taking over the lead from Short. From there, he would pull away. Great battle for second between Short, Millsaps, and Stewart's teammate, Brett Metcalf on the number 24 Suzuki. These three would go at it, swapping the spots back and forth. Millsaps would try to get Short, then Metcalf got them both. Then eventually the Red Bull KTM of title favorite Ryan Dungey overcome a bad start and catch them as well. They all got around Short. Then Millsaps got around Metcalf, and then late in the race, the 5 Dungey would get Metcalf for third as well. But there was no stopping Stewart. 1 moto in the books and 1 moto win for him. Well done, James. Moto 2, hole shot for Mike Alessi on the number 800 Moto Concepts bike. Dungey and Stewart are right there. That's the battle the fans wanted to see. Short and Millsaps were there as well. Millsaps crashed back. Dungey tried to take the lead from Alessi. Alessi passed him back. Then Stewart tried to get Alessi and made it stick. Eventually, Dungey would get around the 800 as well, and that set up the battle for the lead between the 5 and the 7. Dungey shadowing Stewart most of the way around the track, but late in the race, Stewart was able to get through lap traffic a little more efficiently than Dungey. He was strong to the end. He goes 1-1. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Pro Motocross, James Stewart. Alessi on the podium, Short and Metcalf in the top 5. And the women's class kicked off their championship tour at Hangtown as well. The number 1 of Ashley Fallick on the Honda and the Rockstar Suzuki. Number 2, Jessica Patterson expected to battle. They did not disappoint. Hole shot from Fallick in the first moto. Patterson would get by her for the lead. Then Fallick would get her back to take the number 1 spot. And from there, Fallick would pull away a solid ride in her Honda. She wins the first moto of the year. There's Patterson in second. Everyone expected them to battle again in Moto 2, but this one turned crazy. Starts out with another hole shot from Fallick. She pulls them all the time, and she has the number 2 of Patterson right behind her. But then Fallick would crash on lap 1, and then Patterson would crash as well. She gets back on the bike and is battling it out with the number 3 of Tara Geiger and Megan Rutledge on a Kawasaki for the lead. Then Patterson actually knocks her shoulder out of the socket, drops back, allowing Rutledge to pull away. Patterson gets the shoulder back in, gets back around Geiger, and tries to track Rutledge down, but she would run out of time. And Megan Rutledge, an Australian who very few people even knew before this race began, wins it. That's a shocker. But just as shocking, Patterson, with a bad shoulder, wins the race with 2-2 scores, Fallick and Geiger on the overall podium. We'll be racing in Freestone, Texas next week. Be there.